Hi, my name is Ahmed Kamal. I will go through multiple linear regression and mainly selecting the data, the variables, and finding some relationship between different columns in the dataset. I downloaded the data from this website. It is a free data for a set of data about the cars. You can download it here, and then you get this Excel file. My miles per gallon, I mean, for each type of the car or make, cylinders, horsepower, weight, and others. Okay, so we need to see the relationship and we need to run a linear regression for this data. Okay, so let's first start to understand the data. This is, I guess, the best approach, at least to know more about the data. So I will run like a chart. First chart I will run is a scatter plot. I need to see really how this data looks like. So I will focus on mile per gallons, and then I will take, let's say, the make here, next, next, and then finish. So this is what we get for the first one. Okay, it is miles per gallon, and we see that we don't really get a clear impression about the relationship here. Let's take the cylinders, and we see that the cylinders as well is not much clear here. Horsepower, here we see there is really some relationship. So horsepower, like if it is low, we see that miles per gallon is within this range. We see some data here. I guess maybe these are some outliners, and but you see that if the car has really lower horsepower, that makes the car more economy, and you see that it makes more miles per gallon. Now if the horsepower increases, you see that it makes less. So this is the first one we need really to take into consideration, is the horsepower. Okay, let's see the weight. The weight also, we see that if the car has low weight, then it makes more gallons per more miles per gallon. So that is also, and you see if the weight increases, then it makes less miles per gallon. So this is another predictor, another variable we need to consider. Acceleration, acceleration here, maybe it is not as much as clear as the first one. Model and origin. Okay, so now from this chart we really consider horsepower and weight. Let's close this and let us run another chart to see box plot here. Let's take mile per gallon and let's see all variables. So this one here, let me take them one by one. So when we see the make, so this is like ODBM and this is miles per gallon. So we can see like other cars, okay, or other brands, you see the maximum they make up to 46 miles per gallon. We see different data here and we can compare. So we have really like different data set. Let's talk about cylinders. So we see that if it is a 3 cylinders, that is the range, minimum 18, maximum 24 miles. And if it is 4, so we see that data set 5 cylinders, 6, and 8. And we see that it is going down. And this one is, you put here and you see that the maximum is a 26. So versus like here, the maximum is 46. So that is a clear indication about the data origin. We see here that the cars made in Japan, I mean, they make more miles per gallon. We see it clearly here, the maximum, the minimum. And we see the cars in US, I mean, they make less for that data set we have. Now, this is a clear indication. So what we do now, we need to get this data ready to make some analysis about the data. Okay, let's run the partition for the data. So we go to data mining, partition, standard partition here. Let's select all the data, and we will keep the default here information. So this is the data now. We have two sets and 235 records for the training and 157 records for the validation. Okay, now as you can notice here, we have some categorical columns here. So what we will do, let's try this time to run the linear regression directly. And what we are looking for the output is miles per gallon. So this is the output. Now for the make, you see it is categorical, so we will try to have it here. And also the origin, so the origin also we will have it here. The rest of the data, as we see, for sure, horsepower, weight, okay, and model. Let's see the model here. Number of cylinders, we need to see if there is an acceleration. Okay, so we hit next, and we keep the same here by default, and then detailed report, detailed, finish. Okay, so what we see here, we see the model here, and we see the reading, and for each of the predictor here, we see the regression and the residual difference, and we see the data here, and adjusted R2, squared R, and squared R as well here. Okay, so we see really the data, then the training data set here. We see the actual mileage for each record and the estimated or prediction one plus the deviation or residual value. Thank you.